Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at a case where two police officers pulled an Army lieutenant over and threatened to shoot him before pepper spraying him numerous times and throwing him to the ground. Now, the Army lieutenant is pursuing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. On December 5, 2020, an Army lieutenant, namely Kiran Nazario, was driving in a black SUV, which he had very recently purchased, when he suddenly noticed a patrol vehicle right behind him, with its lights and sirens switched on. In response, Mr. Nazario immediately acknowledged the officer and slowed down after putting on his turn signal, but continued to drive down the road so he could pull over in a well-lit area. After driving for about a mile, Mr. Nazario pulled into a gas station and came to a complete stop. By that time, two officers with the Windsor Police Department, namely Officer Daniel Crocker and Officer Joseph Gutierrez, immediately drew their guns at Mr. Nazario and yelled at him to turn off his vehicle and step out. This encounter was captured on the officers' body cams and Mr. Nazario's mobile phone.
Driver, roll the window down!
Felony traffic stop.
Put your hands out the window! Put your hands out the window! Turn the vehicle off, put your hands out the window!
I can't tell.
Put your hands out the window and turn the vehicle off! Put your hands out the window!
He's not complying, Judge.
Come around your side.
Let me see your hands! How many occupants are in the vehicle?
What's going on?
How many occupants are in your vehicle?
It's only myself. Why are your weapons drawn? What's going on?
Open the door slowly and step out! Open the door!
I'm not getting out the vehicle. What's going on?
Get out of the car! Open the door slowly and get out!
What's going on?
Get out of the car, now!
Open the door, get out of the car!
Hold still, hold. Keep your hands outside the window. Keep your hands outside the window.
My hands are right here. What's going on?
Get out of the car now.
Get out of the car!
What's
now.
going on?
Get out of the car now. Get out of the car now.
I'm serving this country and this is how I'm treated?
Yo, look, guess what? I'm a veteran too. I'm going to obey. Get out of the car.
What's going on?
Get out of the car now.
What's going on?
What's going on? You're fixing to ride the lightning, son.
I'm sorry, what?
Get out of the car now.
What's going on?
Get out of the car now. Get out of the car.
Sir, just get out of the car. Work with us and we'll talk to you. Get out the car.
You received an order. Obey it.
I'm honestly afraid to get out. Can I?
Yeah, you should be. Get out.
What's going on? What did I do?
Get out now.
I have not committed any crimes.
You're being stopped for a traffic violation. You're not cooperating at this point right now. You're under arrest
for a traffic.
You're being detained. Okay, you're being detained for obstruction of justice.
Traffic violation. I do not have to get out the vehicle. You haven't even told me why I'm being stopped.
Really?
Get your hands.
Get out of the car now.
As seen in the footage, Mr. Nazario continuously asked the officers what was going on and why he was being pulled over. However, neither officer gave him a response until later when Officer Gutierrez approached the vehicle and first told Mr. Nazario that he should indeed be scared of the police, which was completely an act of tyranny, and then informed him that he was being stopped for a traffic violation, but now was also detained for obstruction of justice. Before anything else, the most important question that arises is why both officers escalated the traffic stop to such an aggressive extent. The answer is likely the fact that Mr. Nazario did not immediately stop when Officer Crocker first activated his lights and sirens. However, during a traffic stop, it's understood that you must put on your turn signal, pull over slowly and carefully, and try to stop the car somewhere well lit, if possible, at night. It's also understood that you should not stop the car in traffic. Judging by this, it appears that Mr. Nazario played by the rulebook, and it could be said that the officers were not justified in retaliating just because he continued to drive while finding a well-lit area such as a gas station. Lastly, while assuming that there was indeed a license plate violation and the traffic stop itself was justified, we need to look at the second accusation made by Officer Gutierrez, which was obstruction of justice. California Penal Code Section 148 states that every person who willfully resists, delays, or obstructs any public officer, peace officer, or any emergency medical technician in the discharge or attempt to discharge any duty of his or her office or employment shall be punished. But this was clearly not the case here. Now, let's watch as Officer Gutierrez continue to escalate the ordeal and use an unnecessary amount of force against Mr. Nazario for seemingly no reason at all.
Get out of the car.
Get your hands off me, please. Get your hands off me.
You know what?
Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me.
Back up,
I
Daniel.
didn't do anything. Don't do that.
Sir,
Get out of the car
Don't do
now.
that.
Hey, sir,
Get out of the car now.
Don't do. I'm trying to talk
Get out.
to you.
Okay.
I'm trying to
I'm gonna
talk.
talk to you.
Get out.
Just get out of my
Relax.
car.
Can you please
Get out.
relax? Can
Get
you
out.
please relax?
Get out of the car right now.
This is not how you treat a vet. I'm actively serving this country, and this is how you're gonna treat me.
Back up, Daniel.
I didn't do anything.
Back up.
Whoa, hold on.
Hey,
What's going? Hold on. Watch it.
And 4 OCs deployed. Get out of the car. Get out of the car now.
That's.
Get out of the car now.
Sir, just get out of the car.
I'm trying to breathe.
Get out of the car now.
That's really.
Get out of the car and get on the ground now. Get it.
I don't even want to reach my seatbelt. Can you?
Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car.
Can you please?
Get out of the car now. Listen. Take off your seatbelt and get out of the car.
Look, I'm just gonna please.
You're gonna do what you're told. Get out of the car.
Look,
Take your seatbelt off and get out of the
Look.
Take your seatbelt off.
look, my hands are out.
Take your seatbelt off and get out of the
My
car.
hands are out.
Don't reach in there, Daniel. Don't reach in there.
My hands are out. Please. Please, look. This is really messed up. My dog is in the back. My dog is choking right
Get
now.
out of the car. Take your seatbelt off. What are you, a specialist? Corporal, are you?
I'm a lieutenant.
Lieutenant, get out of the car. Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car. You made this way more difficult than it had to be if you just complied. Get out of the car.
I'm reaching for my seatbelt.
Fine. Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car. Straight on the ground. Straight onto the ground.
Ma'am.
Is your commanding officer available?
Down. Let's go.
Is your commanding
Let's
officer
go.
available?
Get on the ground. Get on the
Can you
ground.
please talk to
Get
me
on the
about
ground
what's
now.
going on?
Get on the ground or you're getting sprayed again. Get on the ground.
Can you please talk to me about what's
Get on
going
the ground.
on?
Get on the ground now.
Can you please talk to me
Get on
about
the
what's
ground.
going
Get on the ground.
Can you please talk to me about what's
Yes, sir.
going on?
You're not.
Can you please talk to me about what's going on? Why am I being treated like this? Why?
You're not cooperating. Get on the ground.
Why am I being treated like this? This is really messed up. This is really messed up.
Sir, look, just work
This
with
is
me.
really. This is.
Sir. Sir.
You know this.
Lay on the ground. Just
You
lay
know
flat.
this is.
For me, sir.
You know this is.
Sir, lay flat. Lay flat.
This is. I can't believe I'm being treated like this, and I'm.
Get on the ground. Right there. Right there. What's that?
It's gum. What the?
Get on the ground.
It's gum.
Hey, sir, can you just work with us?
Can I?
Just work with us. Lay down flat.
Hold on.
Lay down flat. Lay down flat.
Sir,
This
lay
is
down.
really
I'm gonna
fucked
take you.
up.
Lay down. You're gonna get tased. Lay down. You're gonna get tased.
This
All right. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
This is. This is.
I agree. All you had to do was listen.
All right.
803. One in custody.
As we've seen, Officer Gutierrez pepper sprayed Mr. Nazario numerous times while he remained in his vehicle. Shortly after that, he was forced to unbuckle his seatbelt and step out of his vehicle. At that point, one would assume that all the officers had to do was place him in handcuffs and proceed from there, but that's not what happened. Even though Mr. Nazario had his hands up the entire time, Officer Gutierrez decided to knee him a total of 2 times before Officer Crocker joined in to push him down to the ground. Once again, remember that Mr. Nazario showed absolutely no signs of resisting and did not use any force against the officers either. According to California's use of force standards and guidelines, it stated that officers shall be guided by the principle of reverence for human life in all decision making. Therefore, the officer's use of force must be proportionate given the totality of the circumstances. As such, an agency's policy shall require that an officer may only use a level of force they reasonably believe is proportional to the seriousness of the suspected offense or the reasonably perceived level of actual or threatened resistance. This also ties in with the 1989 case of Graham v. Connor, in which the Supreme Court held that the reasonableness of a particular use of force must be judged from the perspective of a reasonable officer on the scene, and its calculus must embody an allowance for the fact that police officers are often forced to make split-second decisions about the amount of force necessary in a particular situation. Along with this, the Supreme Court also highlighted 3 factors that determine whether an excessive use of force was employed. These include the severity of the crime at issue, whether the suspect poses an immediate threat to the safety of the officers or others, and whether he is actively resisting arrest or attempting to evade arrest by flight. Taking all these factors into account, we can safely conclude that neither officer on the scene was justified in using the amount of force they did.
Can you open up the window for my dog? I hear him choking. Can you open up the window, please?
Yes. Yes, we will.
Stand up, okay?
This is
Is there any weapons on you, sir?
no.
Okay. Any weapons in the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. What kind? Where and lit?
What kind of dog you got?
He's a mix. He's a service animal.
Why didn't you just do as we asked, sir? Why didn't you just do
I
as we
was
asked?
complying, my hands out.
No, you weren't. You were not. My partner put his blue lights on.
Yes.
You didn't stop.
I was pulling over to a well-lit area for my safety and yours. I have respect for law enforcement.
No, you don't.
It's,
No, you don't. No. Wrong answer, sir. If you did, we would not be in this situation right now. All
Can I
right?
get some water, please?
Absolutely. Sit right on this curb right here. Turn around.
Come sit on this curb.
Walk backwards. Walk backwards.
Can you get some water? Can you open up the window for my dog?
I got him.
please?
I got him.
I hear him choking.
I got them all in.
We already opened it.
I'm gonna go grab a
Sit down.
bottle
I
of
got
water.
you. Sit down on the
All right,
curb.
Joe. You good with that?
Yeah. Why didn't you stop? Why didn't you comply? It's a simple traffic stop.
Dark over there. Those areas are dark. I did not feel comfortable.
right, sir.
Those areas are dark.
I'll have you a cup of water.
for you.
Please pour it on my face.
It's gonna make it worse. You know that, right?
All right. So if it's gonna make it worse, don't do it then.
Yeah, it's gonna reactivate it and make it worse.
Where are the
They're right
They're
here.
here.
Where are the medics?
They're here.
I need them to talk to me. What's
They're right
going
here
on?
beside you.
I didn't commit any crimes. I'm leaving tonight. I'm not going to jail. I need something to be done for my eyes.
Nothing I can do to help you drive.
Can you wipe my face? Can you do something?
Let me help you.
Then refuse to get out. When I told them to get out, try to take
We're
it
gonna
out.
keep your handcuffs on you for their safety. So until they can figure out what's up or why you don't want to stop for them, they're probably gonna leave you.
It was a dark area. I pulled over to a well-lit place.
That's fine. You can tell him that.
I told him that, and that's why I don't understand why I'm still
Sir,
in
how do you say your last name?
Nazario.
Okay, Mr. Nazario. I know this doesn't make a lot of sense to you, but the more that you blink, it's going to cause your eyes to tear, and it's going to get that burning out, okay? So blink for me.
You understand what you're saying?
The more that you blink your eyes, it's going to
make
cause
your
tearing.
eyes tear up. Your natural tears have
I need to blow
saline
my
in it.
nose. Can I please blow
Sure.
my nose? Can
Blow
you
right
please
in
take
here.
that comfortable?
Go ahead, let it out. That'll help you. Just help you out here. You want to wipe my nose? Mr. Nazario, do you have any Okay. You take your medication on a regular basis?
No.
Are you allergic to any medicine?
I got you. All right.
Can you please take the cuffs off me? There's nothing going on. There's nothing wrong. Come on. This is not-
Obviously there is because you wouldn't comply with us. All we did is ask you to get out of the car. And you refused. You said, no, I'm not getting out of the car.
I was asking what was going on. My hands are out the window.
And we told you it's a traffic stop and you refused to comply. So hold on. Before we get to that, my medics are still here. You still need my medics?
Yes, I want to stay here.
We'll stand by, man.
Okay.
We'll stay here as long as you need us.
So that's
So, about how long does this take to wear off?
You just come out of rookie school. How long does pepper spray activate?
It'll take about 20 minutes, man. 20, 30 minutes.
It's just
The more, I'm telling you, I know it doesn't make sense, but the more you blink, the better it's going to be. I didn't believe the guys when they told me either, okay? but the more you blink, the better it's going to get.
They go through this stuff in their
very
training.
anxious. Can you please take the cuffs off
No.
me? Please. I need to relax. Okay.
If you hadn't fought us, then yeah,
I did not fight you. Look, can you adjust this, please? So my wrist can face each other, please.
They can lock them.
Please.
When I take your arms out, do not pull away, okay?
I'm not going to pull away. I'm just asking you to please work with me.
I'm going to work with you as much as you'll work with me.
My grandmother is retired NYPD.
All right, what do you want to do with this hand?
I want to twist it around this way. Yeah.
All right.
Can you look to the side just a little bit, please?
Where's your ID at, sir?
I believe it's in this shoulder pocket.
Here?
Yes. You feel something rectangular?
Where are you stationed at, Mr. Nazario?
I'm coming from
Give me your pocket.
zipper.
Oh, zipper. Okay.
I'm coming from a medical event. I'm a medical officer.
All right, I'll put your wallet back in here. Okay.
What'd y'all do? Exercise today?
Do you have...
We're preparing for a deployment. So
Thank you.
We'd be done by now.
your
It was a simple traffic.
Guns were drawn.
It's a simple traffic violation.
Mr. Nazario, look, you want to stop in a well-lit area because you're nervous.
yes.
The whole BLM movement, you're probably nervous and all that. They feel the same way. They're nervous for their jobs and their lives. I get where you're coming from. They get where you're coming from. But let's let this pepper spray kind of wear off and stuff, and then just have an intelligent conversation with them.
Driving all the way down here. First of all, you passed a well-lit parking lot there, but okay, you felt more comfortable here. Okay, coming here was not the problem. That was not the problem. The problem is when you refuse to get out of the car. Okay, you refuse to get out of the car. When we got here and you stepped out of the car, I can promise you this would have been over by now. It would have been over. You'd be gone.
Where you stay at?
I'm heading to Petersburg right now. Check on some family stuff. I got a bunch of gear in the vehicle. I'm transferring units right now. My vehicle's loaded up with gear. Like,
Okay, well specifically, he was asking about weapons. What kind of weapons you got in?
it's right there. I'm sure you saw it already. It's right
No, I
there.
mean, you just got a handgun or you got a long
it's
gun?
a handgun.
No long gun? Where's it at?
Not in the drawer.
I got it.
Like you said, don't worry about their safety. It's like you worry about yours.
Yeah, he came back with it. We're on a firearm. X-ray Delta 996874. XD 996874. Temple.
By now, Mr. Nazario was provided medical attention, after which his eyes finally cleared up of the pepper spray remnants. Along with that, Officer Crocker reached into Mr. Nazario's vehicle to search for and locate his firearm. He found it, ran the serial number with dispatch, and promptly placed it back inside once it was confirmed as not stolen. This was what's known as a warrantless vehicle search, where an officer conducts a search without obtaining a search warrant. According to the United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, it stated that a warrantless search of a vehicle may be made on the grounds that there is probable cause to believe that the vehicle contains contraband, fruits of a crime, or evidence of a crime, and if exigent circumstances exist. Based on this, another conclusion we can draw is that Officer Crocker had illegally searched Mr. Nazario's vehicle. This is also because Mr. Nazario himself never gave the officers permission to do so either.
Okay, do me a favor. Go ahead and have a seat on your bumper right there, okay? I don't want you to fall down. I don't want to keep holding on to you, so just relax right there. Lieutenant, what happened? Why wouldn't you comply?
I looked out the mirror and I saw guns drawn. I put my hands out.
And we told you, we identified ourselves, we told you to step out of the vehicle, and you wouldn't. All you had to do was comply, and we'd have been done by now, okay?
All right, Mr. Nazario. So, let's go all the way back to square one, okay? I turned around on you at Food Line. I actually came out of Cost Plus, and I came up behind you.
I saw you before you turned.
And you had no tags displayed. I see it, but per the law, it has to be in the license plate bracket. I understand it's paper, and I understand why it's there.
Yes.
But at that time, I had no idea. I didn't know that you had a vehicle registration until I approached your car. And at that point, I was too busy dealing with you to deal with the tag.
As I was telling him, you know, I've pulled over to well-lit areas before, and I've never looked out the window and saw guns blazing immediately.
So the reason we did that is because we followed you for 1.5 miles with lights and sirens on, and you didn't pull over. I understand you want to get to a well-lit area, a well-lit area. I get that. But when we follow you that long, look at the climate this day, and against everybody, against us, against y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not out to hurt you, and I know you don't want to hurt me. That's not what it's about. What it's about is making sure that everybody goes home at the end of the day.
All right, how's your eyes doing, Lieutenant?
Better.
And I keep calling you Lieutenant. I told you I'm a veteran. I respect rank. Okay, I was a corporal in the Marine Corps. I respect rank. However, I do have a job to do. Okay, I just talked about Chief of Police. You asked for a superior. He's off, obviously, right now. It's a Saturday. I called him. He came out. We talked. Here's how it's what I was thinking. I told him what I wanted to do. He said, that's no problem. 2 ways we can handle this. We can either sit here with you until you get your eyes back where you can see, and I mean at a good distance, you're safe to drive, okay? And you're going down the road. Go do your deployment. Go continue serving my country, which I respect and I thank you for, okay? Or we can push the issue, write you tickets for no license plate displayed, and for obstruction of justice. I don't think we need to go that route, because that route makes the Army get involved, and I know how they are. You don't know this. The Army, he'll vouch for it, because he's been in and he's got friends that are legal officers. I know. The military is the only place. The military is the only place where double jeopardy exists legally, because whenever we do to him, the Army can turn around and jam him for the same thing. I don't want to see that happen. You're obviously a second lieutenant. You ain't been in very long. But if you plan on making a career, or even 6 years or whatever, it's up to you. I don't care. There's no need getting this on your record. I don't want it on your record. However, it's entirely up to you. If you want to fight it and argue, I mean, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, okay? I mean, you have that right as a citizen. If that's what you want, we'll charge you, have you go to court, notify the command, do all that, or we can take time out of our night, which is not a problem. We're being paid to take care of people, okay? We'll sit here with you, get your eyes back. You and, what's your dog's name? Smoke. Smoke? That's a badass name for a badass dog. You and Smoke can get on down the road, okay? It's entirely up to you. What do you want to do? I got no problem. I'll sit here with you till you get your eyes back and send you on down the road, okay? I don't want to charge you. I will. It's my job. I don't want to. The chief's giving me discretion on how to handle it. He's like, these are the 2 choices. I said, that's what I was thinking. That's what I want to do. He's like, not a problem. We can either let it go, help him out, get his eyes back, and get him on down the road so the Army doesn't get involved, or we can charge you, and then it's a big hassle for you. It doesn't change my life one way or the way, because, you see what I'm saying? It's not about me. This is about you, what you want to do. If you want to just chill, let this go, and no charges filed, we'll take the handcuffs off, we'll get you a bottle of water you can drink on, and sit here until you feel comfortable driving. All right? Mm-hmm. Or the other option is we write the summons, discharge you, by then we have no choice. We have to notify your command.
What we've just seen is Officer Gutierrez actually backtracking from all the tyranny he displayed. It's not to be forgotten that this was the same officer who pepper sprayed Mr. Nazario, kneed him twice, and pushed him to the ground, all while Mr. Nazario had his hands up. It could very well be said that both officers had realized what they had done was completely unlawful, so they consciously decided to switch their demeanor and make things better.
Go ahead and unhook him. how I talk to you, man. Okay. I get it, okay? I get the climate we're in right now. I get it, okay? The climate we're in, what the media is spewing with the race relations between minorities and law enforcement, I get it, okay? So like I told you, as far as you not stopping and because you weren't comfortable and you wanted a well-lit spot, Lieutenant, that happens all the time. It happens to me a lot. And it's I would say 80% of the time, not always, 80% of the time, it's a minority. And I totally get it.
Ultimately, the officers waited around for a few minutes until they deemed it suitable for Mr. Nazario to drive home on his own. Note that no charges were filed against him that night. Following this, on April 11, 2021, soon after the body cam footage released by the Windsor Police Department went viral on social media, Officer Gutierrez was fired as the town said that he did not follow department policy. Just a few months later, Virginia's Attorney General filed a lawsuit against the town of Windsor for pattern of discriminatory policing. As this was going on, Mr. Nazario had already filed a federal lawsuit against both Officer Gutierrez and Officer Crocker for violating his constitutional rights by using excessive force, detaining him, and threatening to arrest him. Officer Gutierrez offered Mr. Nazario an amount of $100,000 to drop his lawsuit alleging racially motivated false imprisonment and assault and battery. Officer Crocker offered Mr. Nazario an additional $50,000. Mr. Nazario turned both offers down, and on January 17, 2023, a U.S. District Court jury in Richmond found Officer Gutierrez liable for assault, but not battery, and ordered that he pay Mr. Nazario $2,685. The jury ordered Officer Crocker to pay $1,000 in punitive damages, but no actual damages, for illegally searching Mr. Nazario's car and briefly removing his firearm. It's worth noting that Mr. Nazario had initially asked for $1 million, but his attorney had upped the ask to $1.5 million. As of the date of this recording, the federal judge has denied Mr. Nazario's latest request for a new trial, and no further updates have been made yet. Be sure to check out our previous video where we cover another outrageous police encounter